Nigerians are cursed with one thing. They think it's a blessing, but it's actually a curse. They know how to move on quickly. And that is why, as they kidnap children for Oyo State, over 40-something of them, including their teachers, just watch tomorrow. Some parents will still send their children to school in Oyo State. Some teachers will still go to school in Oyo State. That is because they know how to move on. And Nigeria also have the mentality of, if it happens to another person, the person amumu. If it happens to another, when somebody is in a situation, a typical Nigerian believes that that thing is happening to that particular person because that person no get sense. That is why they have this talk. If to say na me, if to say na me, if this thing where they try with this person, if they try with me. But they forget that the rules of life is totally different. But let's come back to this issue. 40-something children were taken out of their school by terrorists, kidnappers, including their teacher. In our very before, one of their teachers was beheaded. And some of you will still send your children to school. Therefore, moving on, which will water down what is happening. Why am I making this video? If you be parents for Oyo State, where you feel carry your pikin go school, like say nothing dey happen, you are evil. If you be parent or a teacher, where you still get that mind to still go school on Monday, which is tomorrow, still carry chalk, or you carry marker, they write for blackboard, they teach children, knowing fully well, say other children dey for inside bush, rain dey fall, sun dey shine on top their head, nobody know wetin they chop, nobody know wetin they drink, knowing fully well say a teacher like you was also beheaded. If you can have this same mind after all these things, then you go to school instead of standing in solidarity with these people that are in the bush, instead of sending a message to the government that, see, if these people are not coming back, we are not going to school. That's the end of schooling in Oyo State. Then you are a joke. Because you see this thing that's happening to these people, you are not far away. Be it private school, no matter how armed and heavily guarded a private school is, these Boko Haram terrorists can penetrate anything because the government are not ready to send them out. The government are not ready to tell them that enough is enough. So the schools in Oyo State, this is the time to stand in solidarity and to tell the government that if these people don't come out, we are not going to school. That is one. Number two, the schools in Nigeria, this is the time to send a message to the government that if it can happen in Oyo State, it can happen in Edo, it can happen in Anambra, it can happen in Kogi, it can happen in Delta, it can happen anywhere. Because insecurity started from somewhere and now it's happening almost everywhere. This is the time for Nigerian students, to the Nigerian Union of Teachers, this is the time to say, no, we are going on a strike. Until these people are out, we can no longer teach. Until our teachers, these people are part of you. Don't you understand that tomorrow can be your turn as a teacher? What if they wait to say if you no go, they don't pay you salary? What is the salary going to do when they hold you? Do you think these people ask for ransom that your salary can cover? This is a time for Nigerians to not move on and join us together to say, federal government, you must bring these people out, else we are not doing anything. Nigerian Union of Teachers and the students, you can't. Be it private and public, you can't. But especially the public, because the private people, the private schools, the even politicians, they invest heavily in them. That is why they've completely neglected the public schools and they don't even care about the security of the people that go there. That is why their classroom don't even have a good blackboard. They don't even have a good sitting chair. That is why in the public schools now, it has felt so bad that they don't even have windows. A lot of them don't even have roof. When it is raining, the students move to the side. The children of the poor, they don't even, nothing. So a lot of these private-owned schools in Nigeria are funded. These are like the wives of the politicians that own these schools. It is fact. But as a public school teacher, this is a time to lend your voice. All you have to do is to sit down in your house All you have to do is to sit down at home tomorrow and say, enough is enough. As a parent, I know say some of our go say, oh, you need to give your child a good education. Your pikin need to go school. You need to give her a good education. But understand that your child cannot get a good education in fear. Your child cannot get a good education in Nigeria that terrorists can come from left, right, and center any day, anytime to come and pick them. Understand this. Please, other teachers, your voice matters. This is the time to send the government a message to tell them, no, we can't continue. This is the time where we do one for all for one. All for all for one. Nigerian Union of Teachers, Nigerian parents, especially in Oyo State and other schools in Nigeria, all public school, please think about this. It can be your turn tomorrow. It can be your turn tomorrow. And to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the federal government, the clock is ticking. If you people in 4 days' time, in 2 days' time, I made that video yesterday, in 2 days' time, if you people cannot do anything for these pupils, we will have to look for a way to bargain and pay this money to these people. Because I know you only care about the election. There's no amount for these people. You people brought these people. These people are not aliens. You watch them grow. There's a political angle and a political advantage to them. That's why you have not completely sent this terrorist packing. The likes of Gumi has said it, that you know where every terrorist stay in Nigeria. You know their faces and you know their names. They are not aliens. These are people that you know. If you are not ready to send them packing, let's just make sure, let's know we don't have a government. Depending on where we have the government, they will know what to do. But for now, we cannot have those children and those teachers in the bushes. So whatever thing is going to cost, I have previously said, no, we cannot do crowdfunding for kidnappers. It has been in almost all the videos that talk about terrorists and kidnapping. We cannot do crowdfunding because it's going to enable them to do more kidnapping. But guess what? We know they do crowdfunding. Kidnapping still increase. They still collect ransom. They still post the money online. Government, they see them. They do social media, they post the ransom. We never do crowdfunding, but they don't get free and they do anything they like. Left, right, and center, they are kidnapping. They are still growing. It's not doing anybody any favor. We don't have a government. But this is a message. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are tired. If you cannot get them out, if the military cannot get them out, then let's just do what they want. We have to do the crowdfunding. You have 2 more days. And please, teachers and parents in Nigeria, public school teachers, this is a time to show solidarity to the other teachers in the bush. Parents, please sacrifice. Let your children show solidarity to the children in that bush. This is not a time that will move on as usual. It's not that time. It's not.